Hey, welcome to Chaplain's Moments Doctor's Call. Listen, I don't want to read this verse right away. I want to read this verse last in what I want to tell you today. We're looking at God's provision in the month of April. We've just gotten through Easter, and many believe in Jesus, but do you really believe in Him as the provider? Well, I want to go back into Genesis 22 and tell you a little story first, and then read this verse. When I left a weekly job that had monthly pay and didn't have to worry about from. Everything was fine. But then I left that and went into a ministry called Hope for the Community, where I'm dependent upon the gifts of benevolent donors. It's vastly different than having a weekly job. So at times I worry when donations aren't coming in, when the checkbook starts getting a little low. I'll be honest with you, I get a little disturbed. And last year, I'm going to say about March, the fundraising campaign we had in December wasn't all that great, and I began to worry. I went on my prayer walk with my dog, and I let God have it. My worries, my frustrations. Just give us our burdens of Him. Well, I cast the burdens on Him. And I came back and I was reading the Bible through for a year. And when you read the Bible through for a year, especially on an app, you don't remember where you're at when you're going. You don't remember because you read and it stops you on app. You don't read any farther on the app. And I came in and opened up my app, and it from Genesis 22. We are talking about the story of Abraham going to offer his son Isaac to God. And he takes him up to the mountain. Isaac even asks him, "Where's the lamb?" And Abraham says, "God will provide." And he gets all the way to the point where he ties Isaac's hands together, lays him down there, and he's about ready to take the knife out and kill him because the Lord told him to give me Isaac. And then all of a sudden there's a ram in the thicket. And man, Abraham must have taken a deep breath. God had provided the ram for the sacrifice, not his son. I'm reading this after I told the Lord, I don't know if I'm up for this. I don't know. I don't want to have to tell my wife there's no money in the bank. And this is what the verse is that really touched my heart that day. Genesis 22, verse 14. Abraham called the name of that place, "The Lord will provide," which is Jehovah Jireh. As it is said to this day, in the mountain of the Lord, it will be provided. Touched my heart. Here I am worried about God's provision. Abraham was going to offer a son. I wasn't asked to offer my son. I was just asked to start a new organization. I wasn't asked to sacrifice my son. The Lord will provide. And here it is on the day that I'm moaning to the Lord. He provided this verse. Now I'm going to be honest with you. When my doubt starts to rise, when I'm starting to get a little concerned about what's in the bank, I remember Genesis 22:14. The Lord will provide. Do you? Or are you worried? Are you checking the stock market every chance you got? Are you worried about the bank closures that were going on last month? Is it getting worse for you? I'm a fortunate person. Through the savings of my wife, we got to go to Hawaii last month. How many people get to go to Hawaii? Not many. We went to Hawaii last year in December. She's working two jobs and does some pet sitting so that we could go. So she wanted what she wanted to do. The Lord provided. So hey, what am I worried about? If this is of the Lord, He will provide. See, that's just it. The big question is if this is of the Lord. So do you see your life as of the Lord? You don't have to be in ministry to consider the Lord. You could be working at Walmart. You could be working at I don't know. You could be the gate person at Sun City. You could be home. Do you see your calling in life and that the Lord, and will He then? Do you believe that He will provide for you? And He provide, as we saw the very first week, not what you want, though He'll provide some of that too, but what you need to bring Him the glory in our lives. Because remember, we are a chosen priesthood. We are the sheep of His pasture. We are in the hands of the living God, and there's no better place to be. Thanks for joining me. We're going to be looking next month at What is Love? Yeah, that's the song by Hadaway. You know, what is love? Oh, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love? I can't sing, but we're going to look at that question in the month of May. And I hope you join me for it. I've learned a lot about what love really is in the last few years, and I want to share it with you. So I'll see you next week as we're full bore into spring. The azaleas have bloomed, they're gone, and we're ready to rock and roll into the summertime. I hope you are too. Thank you for joining me. See you next week.